Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is kind of like the least ideal place and time to do this. I was literally ready for bed. I literally just took off my bonnet, set up my ring light. I was literally getting ready to kind of get into bed for the night and just kind of relax for the night. And I was going through my YouTube videos that have yet to be posted, because I had to do some descriptions and things like that, and I forgot some of them had I didn't even do them, but I forgot some of them had oracle cards that I needed to put in the descriptions, and I was just doing all of that kind of clerical sort of stuff. And I was kind of rewatching a video, because I do that sometimes if I haven't written the description and I don't know exactly what it is that I was saying in the video. Some of the things I don't remember. So I was doing that, and I realized that at some point I said that I was going to do a divine masculine energetic check-in, and I haven't done it yet. And it's been like a week or two since I said that I would do that. And so I've kind of been putting this thing off. I guess I didn't even realize that I had said that I was going to do it and then didn't do it. But yeah, I kind of felt called to do it now. I don't think it's going to be a very long video. Potentially in the future, the Divine Masculine will get a longer video, but it's almost 1 a.m. So it's not an ideal time, but I felt called to do it right now. I felt like I had to do it now. $12.43 could be a significant number, as well as 333. Three. Lots of threes. But anyway, I'm feeling like Divine Masculines, your energy may be focused very much so on the feminine. I've been getting this reoccurring channel about just somebody in yearning, deep yearning, and they don't really have an outlet for it, because I feel like I'm picking up on it so heavy and it's kind of just sitting within the energy. And I'm sensing that it might be yours. I'm sensing that might be coming from you, is why it's like this insistent just yearning energy. So yeah, we're gonna pull cards on your energy, and I know there's gonna be feminines watching, but cross watching to see where the DM is and what his energy is. And I am gonna gender the energies just to make it a little bit easier for convenience sake. But just know that energy is fluid. We have both masculine and feminine energy in ourselves, no matter if you're a man, woman, non-binary, it doesn't matter. And these energies are interchangeable, so energy doesn't adhere to gender normatives. I'm just using it to make it easier to and more fluid to talk about, right? So let me tap in with my Divine Masculines and see what your energy is giving. It's giving we're in our head a bit. A thick stack of cards fell out. I'm not gonna read those. However, the starting energy before I started shuffling at the bottom of the deck was the Seven of Swords, which is very much so. I'm getting things kept hidden, things not revealed. But then we also have the card that came out was the Eight of Swords, which is giving you very much so in your head, feeling trapped by your own design. Okay. we've maybe been doing a little bit too much thinking. We maybe been in our head a little bit too much, doing a lot of thinking, a lot of introspection, not enough action. You're supposed to be a person of action. You're not really a sit and let do, let be sort of guy, sort of thing. Like, that's not the energy. Your energy is to like act, your energy is to do. So if you've been in an energy of like kind of just sitting in rumination, especially I'm getting like that yearning, like if you've been in that rumination energy and not acting on anything, I can understand why you're feeling really stuck in your head. Like, this is just like a lot of thinking, not a lot of action. There, in fact, I have 0 action cards out here, but I have a lot of thinking cards. Feeling stuck, just feeling trapped. Potentially feeling trapped in your connection with the divine feminine. How does this look for the divine masculine's journey? Yeah, unable to walk away from something, unable to let something go. Again, it's that yearning energy. This must be the message. I've been channeling this message over and over and over again for TikTok, and like no matter what, like this song just kept coming back in my head. And typically I'll get like a channel, or I'll get like a download, I'll channel, or I'll pull cards on it, and it'll completely leave my mind. I won't even remember what it was about. However, like particularly like this one in particular has just been like coming up over and over and over again, and no matter what I do, I have not been able to get it out of my head. That is, I literally got a notification from another reader that I watch, but it said something about being afraid. This is like feeling attached. This is like not letting go. This is like you're not letting the connection breathe. Like, you're yearning. What are you doing? What is this about? Like, tell me what's like going on a deeper level. What's going on a deeper level? Because this is very surface level. Like, this is like the way that I think about things is like when you're sick and you go to the doctor, like you're typically like when you go to the doctor, you're treating the symptoms. You're not treating like the illness, and you're going to the doctor because of the symptoms. The yearning and the being stuck in your head, those are the symptoms, right? What's the real deal here? Like, what's underneath all of that? And it's feeling maybe left behind. Someone's feeling a little left out, left behind. We have the 5 of Pentacles and the 5 of Swords. 5 of Swords is crazy. 5 of Pentacles and the 5 of Wands. Conflict. I'm getting a lot of like inner conflict, feeling kind of left out in the cold, feeling like you don't really have your stuff together. Like, it's like kind of your mindset is rubbing up against your like, I'm getting like your reality versus like your dream reality, your actual reality, which is kind of like what you're seeing here. Like, in actuality, I'm having a lot of internal conflict. I'm not where I want to be financially. I'm not where I want to be. I feel alone. I feel and not really seeing a way forward to get to what you want long term and what you see for yourself. Like, not really acting on, like, not seeing a clear path forward to get to this. Like, you're like, I'm kind of in this energy right now. This is where I'm at, and I'm kind of stuck on it, and I'm kind of yearning for this. I'm yearning for her. I'm yearning for something different. Like, you're in need of a change. My dog is actually like twitching. But you're in need of some sort of change, and this is like what you're holding on to, and you're trying to keep the faith. However, can we stop here, Goober? However, I do feel like you're really in your head because you're like, I just don't see how this works. And I don't feel like this necessarily has anything to do with the feminine. It could. As I said that, I literally, the Lovers, it could have something to do with the feminine, but it also could just have to do with you and yourself, needing to heal your nervous system, reset your nervous system. Chariot came out as I said that, yeah. And I have my laptop open here, but yeah, you're needing to you're needing to heal your nervous system. Yeah. So we have Judgment and the Six of Wands. Yeah. And we also have the Chariot and the Knight of Pentacles, or the Nine of Pentacles here. Yeah. We have the Six of Swords, which came out first and came out alone. 11/11 on the timer. Came out first and came out alone. Moving away from the yearning and the like being stuck in your head and moving into action. Answering the call. Recognizing yourself and who you are and building yourself up. Again, I'm here like literally nervous system healing. That came up for me recently, and this girl was talking about, she's like, yeah, you know, you hear a lot about it, but they don't actually give you information about like things that you can do. And she was kind of naming and literally the way, she was kind of naming how to heal your nervous system, and she's like, these are things that you can do. She's like, because a lot of the stuff you find behind a paywall, but I did all this research and here are some things. I'll leave some things, and if I can find her TikTok, I will link it in the description. But they're just like simple things, like she's talking about how you just kind of like pull on your ears for X amount of time. I don't remember exactly, but pulling on your ears, tapping is a really good way. She's like, these are the ones that work for me. Taking your left hand, putting it under your armpit like this, and then holding your left shoulder. So taking your right hand and holding your left shoulder. Apparently you're supposed to just hold yourself like this, and it like calms your nervous system. You're supposed to do it until you start to feel like you're yawning, and that is your indication that you are moving into a more restful state and your nervous system is kind of calming down. But yeah, definitely need some nervous system healing. I'm hearing that very strongly. I'm getting that very, very strongly. Again, we have this coincides with that. We have the King of Pentacles, which is emotional maturity, which would be, again, like once you heal your nervous system, your emotions are no longer running the show. So it's like working on, literally manifesting, working on becoming the King of Cups here, a more mature, a more regulated, like emotionally regulated human being. Regulating your emotions, becoming more patient with yourself. I feel like you have so much patience for other people, and maybe sometimes that doesn't necessarily translate, but I feel like you're a relatively patient person, but you don't give yourself patience. You don't give yourself grace. And you kind of need to start doing that because you're not in a position like you need to act on that, because you're in a position of just kind of like where the feminine energy, the divine feminine, I kind of talked briefly to her. If you cross watch for that, good on you. But I had said in the messages from the divine feminine to the divine masculine that she wasn't running. And then in the private message, I kind of called her out a little bit because I was like, the energy is like, do, 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 do. Like, we need to go, 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 go. And you're kind of in the opposite energy, which kind of has you out of whack as well. Like, it's like you guys have kind of, it's like you guys are learning to heal kind of your opposite energies. So like her masculine energy of like go 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 go, and I gotta provide for myself and I gotta make things happen, is kind of a little bit on overdrive with all of this like nesting energy. But also like yours is kind of like, you're kind of in a sit, wait, and receive energy, but your feminine energy isn't healed. Like, there, you don't have a, like, you haven't created a safe space for your feminine energy. And I feel like you're wanting so badly to get the divine feminine back, or have the divine feminine back in your life. However, you haven't even created a safe space for your own feminine energy. How are you going to invite the divine, why is the divine feminine going to want to come in a place that is hostile, come into a place that's hostile for feminine energy, and not a patient 1616 on the clock as I say that, or the timer as I say that? But why is the divine feminine going to enter a space that isn't suited to her, isn't made for her? It isn't calm enough. It isn't not that you're not enough or not doing enough, but like, you don't even have a gentle space curated for your own feminine energy. You can't invite feminine energy in and nurture feminine energy if the feminine energy inside you is still wounded and fighting for her life to be seen and recognized. Heal that nervous system. Genuinely look up like somatics, do some yoga, breath work, any sort of just like nervous system healing. Like, look on TikTok, that's a good resource. I'll link some people that I have. If I can find them, I'll try to link them in the description. Give you some resources of people to kind of look at. But myofascial release, massages, even self massages, releasing fascia, you know what I mean? Just stuff of that nature. I don't know. I probably need to, yeah, do that. I'm feeling a little tight. Not the point. But yeah, like, you just really need to nurture yourself, because emotionally you're kind of out of touch, you're out of balance. And you're like, you're trying to put, you're having all this, like, for feminines when they're yearning, typically they'll put that energy, like if they're healed and creative, they'll put that energy into something creative. They'll put that energy into creating something. And for you to heal that space, you need to put that energy into healing that space for your own feminine energy. Like, the divine feminine, as they are separate from yourself, that you do share souls, or like a deep soul tie. However, like, you're like, you know how the yin and the yang, they each have their own kind of within those things, they each have their own like little spaces for the energy to like balance out. That's the space you need to be focused on. And like, you need to be focused on being soft. Like, I get really, really frustrated when I'm trying to speak and I can't. It really, really frustrates me. But what I'm trying to say is, that's the action that you need to be taking at this time. The action isn't necessarily it could be a creative endeavor, but it's not necessarily trying to get the divine feminine back. It is focusing on healing your nervous system, giving the divine feminine within yourself a place to create and to just exist and to be safely and softly. And that in and of itself is going to call in exactly what it is that you're looking for from the divine feminine. It's going to call in that connection. Once you're in your, sorry, I saw that at the bottom of the deck. Once you're in your King of Cups energy, you can call in the Queen of Cups, because the King of Cups is the only one who knows how to handle the Queen of Cups, right? You have to be, in order to be the Emperor, you have to have mastered all of the suits. You have to have all of those energies balanced and in check. And if you don't, if you're all yearning, you're all passion, King of Wands, you'll burn up all of her water. You'll evaporate that shit. She needs a soft place, a cool space to land. But once you do accomplish this, that's when this comes in for you. And I don't feel like this is something like, it's like, oh, this takes years and da 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 da. Like, there are things you can do now, right now, to start healing your nervous system. There are, I'm talking like positive self-talk, literally. I don't know if you can see that there. We have Justice at the bottom of the deck, but right here, it's the Ace of Cups. Like, yeah. And Strength as well. Once you move past the yearning and like this person is the only way I'm gonna get this, that, or the other thing, or this is how I have to do that, like, you're kind of rigid. You need to be more like water. I'm hearing like Avatar the Last Airbender, like the ebb and flow of the waterbender, water tribe. Just be more flexible and more flow state. But yeah, just being overall more gentle with yourself. Maybe instead of hitting the gym, hit a book, hit a yoga class, hit a cooking class, hit a art class, hit Michael's, get a new creative hobby, hit some somatic breathing exercises, hit some vestibular drills, hit the massage place, get a massage, you know what I mean? Just really nurture yourself. Just really learn how to get in touch with your emotions and like have no judgment for them, you know? Just don't judge yourself for having them. The most manly thing, the most masculine thing that you can possibly do is be in touch with your emotions. Like, men are like, oh yeah, like, we have to be so manly and masculine, like, let's drive loud ass fucking annoying cars and do this, that, and the other thing. When women are attracted to the most feminine of men because they're in touch with their feminine energy, women look for a place they feel welcome to kind of relax and ease into it. I mean, I know we're kind of in an era of like the feminine energy being independent and being strong, but that's because the masculine energy hasn't provided a space for women and feminine energy to be. Like, it's literally, the masculine energy is like squeezing the life out of the feminine energy like a fucking anaconda. Like, there is no space for the feminine energy to breathe and expand. And I'm not talking like at all, but just like generally, there's no space, there's not a safe space for the feminine energy to land, which means she has to then, 24 on my timer, she then has to enter her masculine energy and give herself that space, right? But still, in some way, shapes, and forms like that, especially when you want to enter into union and enter into partnership, it's important that she's able to do that for herself. And especially with dating culture and mating culture of today. but it's also important because she needs to be able to sustain her own energy and sustain herself. However, the masculine needs to have a space, it needs to provide that shelter for her. Essentially, it's being a provider. Provide a safe space for her to be soft and for her to be feminine. Provide that shelter, be that shelter in her storm. You know, women, they love being independent, but they don't like having to do it all themselves. You know what I mean? They like the support, they like the feminine, the softness, like, yeah, they want somewhere where they can be soft and relaxed. We go out and we girl boss all day. Like, we want a space to come home to that is just nurturing, just as nurturing as we are, just as soft as we are, just as soft as we want to be. Let your baggage go. Whatever internalized baggage you have, whatever internalized shit you have, let it go. It's not like this isn't a logical thing. Like, this isn't something that you can think your way out of. This isn't something that you can like make practical or like logical. This isn't something you can understand on that sort of level. Like, you really just have to start getting in touch with your emotions, because that's the only way that you're going to be able to call in what you're asking for. You're not going to be able to handle a woman being soft and being in her feminine if you're not emotionally regulated. And that's just the way it is. And that goes for everybody, but like, yeah, realistically, that's just the way it is. It's 1:11 a.m. It's actually 1:10, but it's about to turn 1:11. It's been 1:10 for a minute. That's hilarious. Yeah, 1:11 a.m. And I think I'm gonna close it there. But yeah, I will have some resources for you in the description, Divine Masculine. You're not doing anything wrong. You are completely you're doing a great job. However, you need to let yourself cry a little bit. Let yourself cry. Let yourself experience these emotions that you've kind of been pushing down. Give yourself a safe space. Learn how to give yourself a safe space so that she can come to you and be soft and melt in your presence. Because that's all she needs. That's what she needs and wants. And that's what you want too. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed your reading. If you liked it, please drop a like. And if you feel called to drop a comment, definitely do so. The cross watchers too. If you want a personal reading, that will be linked in the description, as well as my other social media. I will also again have those resources linked in the description for you as well. Feel free to subscribe if you like this type of content. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good rest of your night. Be gentle with yourselves, and I'll see you next time.